life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Run up when you see me, no disguises. Keep that thing with me, cause I don't do surprises. J Chanel, show and tell, all facts, no lies, streak. Get your life, cause I'm the type to come to it that 9 quick. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Focus there.
Watch them cause they after me like a pot of gold. I'm not for play, ask Keisha if you don't know. I'm a little bit cray. Approach me, you better be right. If you don't come correctly, you can catch these hands tonight. Eyes on me, what you care for? Watching me, baby, care for. If you ain't a fan, where the cameras? Hide in the back with the bellboys. My circle's so restricted. Hands raised like it's your religion. When I sleep, pay close attention. Fake friends out here pretending. Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life.
Get your life, get your life, get your life, baby. I got my why you can serve my mind, baby. Feeling me, that's why they killing me, lately. Get your life.
Get your life, boo.
Inviting. Why aren't more people talking about the incredible indie artist? Let's dive in. Welcome back, jazz aficionados. It's time for another smooth evening of cool vibes and soulful tunes on classic R&B Jams Radio. Tonight, we're diving into the world of Mike Murray, Blend Jazz, Pete Belasco, Gerald Albright, Althea Renee, Jeanette Harris, and more. So sit back, relax, and let the enchanting notes of Najee and Paul Hardcastle transport you to a world of musical brilliance. And don't forget, mark your calendars for Denise Gray's Say It Loud the Indie Artist Show, every Tuesday at 8 p.m., right here on CRBJ Classic R&B Jams Radio. Now, let's jazz it up.
All right there, ladies and gentlemen, just a little quick commercial before we get into things. How we doing? We're back for another episode of the Chop Shop. I appreciate all the folks that stopped in earlier. We chopped it up about some what the brothers was going to get. What they was going to get from Trump, voting for Trump. Again, appreciate that. But we're going to do a little differently this time, folks. Y'all know what we're about to do. The loose nigga roundup. That's what we're going to do tonight. Of course, I got to talk about your man, Sean Puffy P. Daddy, Brother Love, whatever he decide he's going to call himself. But I know one damn thing he's going to call himself tonight is locked up. locked up in jail without no damn bail. Twice. They told Puff, hell no. You're a danger to society. You're a menace to society. We can't let you out the camp. We can't do it. I don't care if you put your mama house up. I don't care if you put your daughter's college tuition up. I don't care if you put up 4 or 5 of your mansions, your houses. I don't care. We're going to keep you in jail, son. The judge going to give you the long ride. And we do believe that if you're able to, Mr. Combs, we do believe that you will haul ass. And of course, everybody in the YouTube streets is talking about just the same thing that we're all talking, that I'm about to talk about. But then again, we're going to go a little deeper into it. And as I said, we're going to do a little, as I call it, loose nigga roundup. No disrespect to my man, Sharon Bracey. But last week, you guys were talking about I want to call it assault of Tyreek Hill. If you don't know who Tyreek Hill is, folks, he's a wide receiver with the Miami Dolphins. They called him Cheetah, probably one of the fastest men in the NFL. Now, I can understand him stopping and giving the man a ticket if he was speeding. Yeah. But it's what happened during the course of them giving him a ticket that a lot of folks on your panel there, Sharon Bracey, and one dude in particular calls himself Unlikely, said that Tyreek should have got shot. And here's the problem. There lies the problem. That's why sometimes you got to do these loose nigga roundups. Let these cats know. You never know who's listening to that bullshit. You never know who's sitting up in the clouds saying, hey, what's going on? Let me see what these black folks is talking about. And again, I pointed out to you, what would be the harm? Sharon Bracey, letting white folks come over there and using the N-word with impunity. You see it. They feel emboldened. I hate to say it, but some white folks think they got a right to. Call them Karens and they call them everything else. But anyway, getting off topic here. Let's get on to what our little first clip of the night. This is just from 2 hours ago, folks. If you want to understand, your man, Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, is on unalive watch at the local jail there up there in New York. I don't think it's so much as the unalive watch as to making sure he don't get unalive watch. Same jail that held Jeffrey Epstein, the same jail that just had a murder of an inmate last week up off in the camp. So they say they got him on unalive watch. I'm only using unalive because for the YouTube streets. But if I was on my radio platform, of course, you know what word I would use. But anyway, this first clip that we're going to check out here. This particular stream was about 2.5 hours ago. So it's just pretty much a pretty good update of what's going on in the life of Sean Diddy Combs as he sits right now behind jail and behind bars, waiting for the judge to tell him about his fate. So let's get that off the screen there. How y'all doing? Since we'll be talking about music moguls tonight, a few other things I figure I'd break out my DJ avatar. And without further ado, folks, here we go. This is from the Law and Crime channel here, folks. And, it's a pretty reputable channel. So let me turn down the background music so we don't get interrupted by that. Okay. Let me turn that down right there. Let me slide this on in. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to the loose nigga roundup. Don't worry about that.
Country. Here's everything we know so far about Diddy's life on the inside. I'm Sierra Gillespie, and this is Law and Crime News. It's been a big week for 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs, kicking it off with a federal indictment on Monday, and now we're getting word that he's on suicide watch. He's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn in the Eastern New York Judicial District, much to the dismay of his legal team. Earlier this week, Diddy filed for bond 2 separate times. His attorney's emotions that MDC is not fit for pretrial detention. They even requested he be transferred out of New York to Essex County in New Jersey, but it was ultimately up to the Bureau of Prisons to decide where he ended up. According to Diddy's legal team, an inmate was murdered at MDC just this summer, and at least 4 inmates have died by suicide over the past 3 years. Now, their client is on.
Okay, no disrespect to you there, P. Diddy, but you realize that you are a criminal. You do realize I know you got plenty of money and you expecting special treatment and all that good jazz and all of that, but you do know that you don't you did you think you was gonna go to the Hollywood Hotel? Where did you think they were gonna take you to? To a plush room with see what the problem is. A lot of y'all watch too much of these gangster movies, the way you see that when the good fellas go to jail, you know, they all surrounded by and they eating steak and lobster and all this shit in jail. That ain't true, fellas.
Suicide watch, meaning he's separated from traditional prison housing. It's unclear whether he's actually suicidal or if it's just a safety precaution, but we do know a mental health professional visits his cell at least several times a day. The U.S. Department of Justice Institute of Corrections describes suicide watch as supervisory precautions taken for suicidal inmates that require frequent observation. So what does all that mean? For that, we go to criminal defense attorney Mike Korbanix. One of the reasons that P. Diddy's attorneys were saying we don't want him there is because they say it's really dangerous. There have been suicides, there have been murders, apparently. Is that true? Do you think it's a pretty dangerous place?
All jails are dangerous depending on who the inmate is, quite frankly. So, I mean, it's a high profile case. Nobody knows where the case is really going and what it really entails yet. So I would assume that they're just being overcautious because he's not like your average defendant. He's a very well-known person who has a lot of prestige, and it would be interesting to see what goes on in the jail with him. But I'm sure he's going to need a little bit more of protective coverage in the jail.
I'm wondering if that's why they placed him on suicide watch now, kind of what you were saying, protective coverage, because he is such a high profile inmate. Do you think that could be part of it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, going from a life where you live in a mansion to going to sit in a jail facility is not something easy to deal with.
Also, whenever we're thinking about cases like this, the big federal ones and just similar allegations, I go to Jeffrey Epstein. And obviously, we know what happened there. He never was able to make it to trial because he died by suicide. Is that something that everyone is trying to avoid here to make sure that any of the inmates don't actually die by suicide?
Well, of course. I mean, a jail has a responsibility. It's a jail. People in the jail, in that jail, are being held. They're presumed innocent, and there's responsibility, since the person's not free to do what they want, to protect them and to make sure that they're mentally stable and that they're protected.
When I heard suicide watch, my mind went to Rex Heuermann, who's the alleged Go-Go Beach killer. Obviously, he is still presumed innocent at this time, but I do recall after he was arrested, he was placed on suicide watch. And I'm wondering if that's just kind of another thing because it was a big case, a big name, that he was not suicidal at the time, and it's possible now that P. Diddy isn't suicidal.
That's something that's very difficult to really answer because we're not doing the interviews of
Right, that's comparing apples to oranges. The shooter that she's talking about, I'm sure that was not living the lifestyle of a Sean Puffy Combs, folks. Understand something. This was as they say, if he wasn't a millionaire, he was close to it. So this man lived in the laps of luxury. So that would not be a fair comparison of a would-be assassin, because we'll give him the benefit of the doubt to say that, going through the legal system. But, it is what it is on that one. But again, that's no fair comparison, because Puffy Combs, he's used to going to sleep with, dare I say, satin sheets and women laid up all around him, and servants all through the house. He can ring a bell and somebody will come up. I'm sure this low life shooter here that murdered folks, I'm sure he wasn't living that lifestyle. I can bet money on that. So I think a different set of circumstances. I don't know how you would compare the two.
the inmate gets an evaluation when they come in. They get checked for their health. their physical health as well as their mental health, and that's where those sort of decisions are made. It's not just sort of something because it's P. Diddy we're putting him in. They have to have some sort of facts to substantiate that.
Let's say moving forward that they determine, okay, he's fine, he is not a risk for suicide, he's good to go. Do you think that P. Diddy could ever be placed in general population? Obviously, he's someone that a lot of people know. First of all, high profile, but then also he's got.
Well, well, let me just go ahead and say this. What's up there, Black Hawk? How you living, good brother? Let me just go ahead and say this. Answer that question, Miss Lady. No, P. Diddy will never be put in Gen Pop in a New York jail. Why? Because a lot of folks believe that P. Diddy is a reason why Tupac is no longer on this earth. That's one main reason. A lot of more and more people believe, more evidence is coming out that also believe that this guy that you see on the screen here holding up the finger was responsible for Notorious B.I.G.'s demise as well. So no, he would not be put in general population. If they do put him in general population, they know that what they're putting him there for. There's absolutely no doubt. If Sean Puffy Combs ends up in general population in any New York jail, chances are he will not survive.
Some pretty severe allegations that he's up against. Would he be safe in Gen Pop?
That's a very difficult question. I think because of if I was his attorney, I would want to make sure that he was being kept in a place where he's safe and not be used as some sort of way that some inmate may want to just move their street credibility, for lack of a better term, by just saying, yeah, I went after P. Diddy because, he wasn't supposed to be doing those things and all that.
And this lawyer is absolutely right. That's another thing. That's another reason why there's just going to be some fly-by and loose niggas that's going to try and get some street cred. I'm the one that did in Puffy Combs under the guise of because of what he was doing. Some of these folks, some of y'all folks that's in jail ain't never going to get out. They ain't never going to see the outside of a jailhouse. What the hell are you talking about? That was a pretty dumb question, wasn't it, Black Hawk?
So it's a very difficult situation when someone that famous and well known in this kind of case is put into general population. So it's going to be a major concern for the institution that is holding them.
Now, let's take a look back at the timeline leading up to Diddy's arrest and the allegations that led to Diddy's indictment. Shocking federal charges brought against one.
Okay, before we go any further, for the author that don't know, this is the same jail that Jeffrey Epstein met his demise at. Not taking anything away from the wealth of Sean Diddy Combs, but believe me, he did not have Jeffrey Epstein money, and they couldn't protect his ass from so-called unaliving himself. This is the very same jail where Combs is at right now that Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself, as they say. So what makes them think that the security going to be any less, more stacked up in Sean Combs' favor? A super rich white dude that had goods on several folks met his demise in that jail. Come on, y'all. Let's think about this. Well, then again, folks, these are white reporters, so maybe they don't know better, or maybe they don't know our culture. But this would not be a conversation that the brothers and sisters would be having. We wouldn't be talking about whether he gonna be committing unaliving himself. That's not conversation we would be having. We'll be talking about who gonna get him, and how they gonna get him, and why they gonna get him. We know they're not gonna put him in general population.
Beloved music icon Sean P. Diddy Combs now could be his complete fall from grace.
I mean, it was only a year ago that he got the key to the city here in New York, and now here he is indicted in the Southern District, right? So what happened in a year for someone to have fallen so far?
But what led up to these serious federal charges? We're talking to criminal defense attorney Adam Conta to break down the timeline leading up to Diddy's arrest. I'm Sierra Gillespie, and this is Law and Crime News. Now, starting off from where we're at right now, Diddy faces 3 federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
Okay. Again, I'm not a lawyer, folks, but you learned about the law on one or two sides, either the good side or the bad side. So fortunately for me, I learned about the law most of the time on the good side. I had my minor infractions with the law, but who hasn't? Traffic ticket here and some shit like that, but nothing that would send me up the river like Sean Puffy Combs here. So again, you got to look at when they use the word conspiracy, that means there's other folks involved. You can't conspire to do shit by yourself. You got to have some help. So that's what they're saying. All these folks that we've been talking about over the years that's been enabling Combs to do the things that he's been doing. I hope y'all folks is ready for what's about to come after you. Because if you think Sean Diddy Combs and his folks is not going to start snitching when they start seeing them double-digit numbers, think it. He's 54 now. They tell him we're going to give you 20 years. 74 before he even can look out the outside of the damn window of the jailhouse. 74. What are you going to do? 74. Just by one count. One count. 74 before he even think about getting out the jail. He thought that video that when we all saw him whooping Cassidy, he thought that shit was just going to go away? No, Lord.
So how did we get here? We have to head back to the 1990s, when Diddy first rose to fame after creating the record label Bad Boy Records that represented artists like the Notorious B.I.G. or Biggie Smalls. It was during this time frame that Diddy allegedly sexually assaulted multiple women in New York. We first learned about these allegations in November of last year, when Joy Dickerson-Neal and Liza Gardner filed separate civil suits against Diddy. Gardner says her assault happened back in 1990 when she met Diddy at a work event. She alleges he raped her and later choked her to the point that she passed out. The next year, in 1991, Joy Dickerson-Neal says Diddy raped her while she was a student at Syracuse University. She says Diddy even recorded this alleged sexual assault and passed the tape around to other people. So these things allegedly happened in the early 90s, but they're not made public then. As the years pass by, Diddy's career just keeps on gaining steam. By the late 90s, Diddy himself begins putting out songs, even snagging his first 2 Grammys in 1998. But the following year marks the next stop on the Diddy timeline, the New York nightclub shooting. 3 people were...
All right, so far, ladies and gentlemen, again, look at the progression of Sean Puffy Combs. He got away basically with assaulting some women, but because he had a little money and low fame, everybody pushed those women to the side. They weren't telling the truth. Listen, you can't tell me about the hip hop life because I lived it. I am part of hip hop. For those of us, for those of us that was born in the 60s and the 70s, we are hip hop. It was not around before us. We saw the emergence of it. We know where it started at, and we've seen the progression of where it's gone. And I did a piece some time back that asked this very same question. What good has hip-hop done for the community? When now we hear stories like this coming up of all these sexual assaults and all these women that were saying, hey, look what these guys are doing. All these artists that were saying, hey, Puffy's not paying us. All these, the Mary J. Blige's, the Craig Mack. We wonder why Craig Mack fell off. Now we know. He fell off because he got that 3-word package. We know why Mace got the hell on now. Enough by Jennifer Lopez. The go to the point that you got to look at it. Support training. She has 8 black training her on how to fight a bully. And part of the dialogue went as follows. He's going to beat you. He's going to knock you down. And as sure as he know he has you defeated, he's going to do one more thing to ensure his victory. He's going to kick you. How many times have we heard women say that Puffy's either choked them out, and then when they had him on the ground, he kicked them. We saw it for ourselves with Cassie Ventura. We saw it with our own eyes. Wonder how Jennifer Lopez just got the hell away from that scene. Shine coming out now talking about he had guys against him. Combs, he was the guy with the gun. Jennifer Lopez was the person with the gun that stashed the gun. Hey, Mella, how you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in.
I'm great. Thank you for accepting my presence.
Oh, not a problem. It's an open panel, so everyone's welcome. Your thoughts on the Combs fiasco so far, P. Diddy?
What I was discussing with someone is the fact that they're bringing up baby oil. When they presented that he was arrested and they unlocked all this other kind of information for whatever reason was being prominent as a display for jokes is this whole baby oil and lubricant and things that really didn't need to be said. What I find is atrocious is the sex trafficking. I believe, of course, there's coercion involved. I'm sure that'll all spill out. Diddy, he has connections with a lot of wealthy people, right? Wealthy people that don't want other people to know their business. And it's rumored that his life might be in danger. And I'm like, is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing that his life is in danger?
Well, Mella, a lot of folks say that, and to the point of, first I'll address what you said about the baby oil thing. You knew that the internet is going to be undefeated when it comes to that. There's going to be more memes to come. Somebody, unfortunately,
they value the most asinine things for entertainment. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and a good point there, Black Hawk. And Mella, what would you think about this? What Black Hawk is saying? He says Trump has the protection of his complexion that allows a 34-count convicted felon and committed federal crimes, i.e., stealing top secret documents. Ninjas ain't above the law either.
I'm glad he brought that up because there is this comparison. Why is it a black man can't get away with these atrocious crimes, but a white man can? And what I will say to that is there comes a time when certain complexions want to put other complexions, quote unquote, in their place. If they, he obviously he pissed somebody off. He pissed somebody powerful off because there are so many people that have gotten away with these same things for since like forever. There are people. Someone was mentioning what's that guy? The Playboy guy, Hugh Hefner. And all the crap that's associated with his parties, and Diddy is not the first, unfortunately, probably not the last, that will conduct exploiting people who are seeking, quote unquote, their dreams, thinking that they don't have to overpay with their body for it. So he has a point. I'm not gonna hate on anybody that starts throwing up these comparisons. I'm not gonna call them distract. There was a time I would have called it a distraction. No, but what about Diddy though? I'm not one of those what about persons. I will say he has a valid point. There are people that have been getting away with not only what he has done, but worse. And they're still walking around they're still walking around. So why him? I say he pissed off the wrong person.
I will agree with that. I think there are some people, there's some pretty powerful people that didn't now realize that he has videotape on them, because now, of course, we all now know that he recorded secretly people, telling who's going to show up on these tapes. From what I understand, the FBI wanted to talk to Jennifer Lopez, and of course, we all know she's married to Ben Affleck. Of course,
Well, they're getting divorced.
yeah, and they
Actually,
say that's the reason. It's the reason because the FBI showed Jennifer Lopez allegedly in one of Sean Combs's freak off tapes. So,
yeah, that whole thing with him videotaping people without their consent is a problem.
well, criminals do that, Miller. Whether it's a mass murderer or a petty thief, they always return back to the scene of crime, or they keep mementos of it, or they like to relive it and revisit it. And that's what Sean Combs was doing. That's exactly
It reminds
what he
me,
was
and I
doing.
know black
Now,
people
a
always
lot
use. Oh,
of
go ahead,
people
baby.
say
I'm
that,
sorry.
I think I borged out a little bit. Can you hear me now? Yeah, can you hear
Loud
me
and
now?
clear. Loud and clear. Yes.
Again, okay. A lot of people were saying, that Combs himself was a victim of what happened to him before. But sympathy is in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. If you knew that this could be part of your life, you make a choice. You make a choice to whether you dance with the devil, or, as they say, when you dance with the devil, sooner or later you got to pay the piper. And I think
Right is right and wrong is
this is it.
wrong. Yeah, right is right and
Right.
wrong
And
is
so
wrong.
you need,
Just because you can do something
right,
doesn't mean you should do it.
you should do it. That's exactly it. Just
Yeah.
because you can do it, that don't mean you should. And that's exactly what he did. And there's some folks that defended him, saying, well, because it was done to him, that's why he did it to other folks. I can't rock with that. No. I can't rock with that part of it. Can't do it. I might be having a little bit of internet interference there, Miller. So if you see me drop off,
It's not me. But until Mr. DJ Music comes back, let's congratulate him on his expertise, talent, skills, and abilities. Let's also keep in mind, in terms of the topic, that Diddy is headline exclusive. And it's not a foreign concept that distractions exist to hide what's really going on a world stage, right? Because we have these suggestions in terms of the political atmosphere of what they're pseudo promising to come forward, right? And if you are too busy focusing on Diddy and his unfortunate circumstances and those who are his victims, then what you're not doing is focusing on whether or not the political atmosphere is a theater of BS, right? And it's just where the candidates are offering in plain sight that they're going to increase your cost of living. They'll disguise it as tax breaks, but unless you are in tune, unless you are aware, okay, and most public school students are not aware that their language speaks of gameplay, and their intention is to look out for those who have paid for them to be there, you
mm-hmm.
know. So anyway, I'm glad you're back. I was just,
Well,
trying to
I
keep
appreciate
it
you holding down
going
the phone.
until you came
Yeah,
back.
I live out in the boonies there, folks. So every once in a while, I will lose internet connection. They gave me a choice: either cut down some trees, move, or live with the internet as it is. Of course, I'm not cutting down no trees, and I'm not moving no time soon. So y'all bear with me from time to time.
It
All right.
happens. Yeah, it happens. We
Hey
understand.
there, ABT and Shar, how y'all doing? Welcome in. But I lost the clip from.
Please join the panel, you intelligent folks. Come on
Yeah,
through.
y'all come on up. Everybody's welcome. Y'all come on up. but getting back to Puffy, we'll do this a little bit without the let me try and pull it up here. See if I can get back to where we started at there. That might be one of my problems there. I got too many windows open at one time, so I close a lot of them. So that should help us out here a little bit. But back to Combs there, Puffy or Brother Love, whatever you want to call yourself. Listen, folks, I don't have any sympathy. I'm sorry, but I don't have any sympathy for him. None. I don't. I not in the least bit. I know that everybody say he's a multi-millionaire and a mogul, and he's not living that. He shouldn't be. He's living a lifestyle of that he's not used to. Give a fuck
They
less.
gave that man the key to the city.
Right.
And so what does that say? Everything's for sale.
Everything, even New York, big city of dreams. Everything's for sale, folks. Love's for sale. And again, for those folks that those as they call those enablers, it ain't over yet. It's not over. They're coming for y'all
too. If you
too.
would have told that man a decade ago that this was going to happen, he would be like, "Please, I got too much money."
He would have laughed at you. He would have laughed at you. Said, "Yeah." We've seen some of the video footage, Mella, of him talking about, I get whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. You see that you can't do whatever you want.
Pride comes before a fall.
Right.
Period.
Right. And,
boast if you want to, and watch what happens.
Right. Absolutely. Let me go and pull up our next clip there, Mella. We're gonna. There's not too much that we can say about Sean Puffy Combs that a whole lot of folks is not saying. I'll come back with every once in a while with a an update on it, but I'm sure there's going to be something new every day about this dude. But
remember
I want to move
hit the
on.
like button, everybody, please.
Right.
Thank you.
If y'all don't mind, hit the like button. Hit the like button for me. Now let's move on here for a minute. Like I said, I like to call these loose nigga roundups. First and foremost, I spent a little time over in Sharon Bracey's panel. Mel, I'm sure you've been over there before. You've seen what goes on there. The panel itself, sometimes it's good. It is. But other times you get folks over there that come over there, and I've said this over and over. They ask, what's the harm in letting somebody express themselves by using the N-word? Well, this is the harm in it there, Sharon. This is just the first one. I got another one that we're gonna talk about here too. Okay.
Shut up!
Okay.
Shut your fucking mouth!
All right.
The rules don't apply to you. They only apply to me, right?
They do not. Oh, not over here, bitch. Not over here, bitch.
Okay, so you're in charge.
I'm not in charge over here. But anybody who watches Ron's show know that he let people talk.
You got no respect for the
Ron
black
lets
man
people
running
talk.
this
He let
channel.
them say whatever they want to say.
Yeah, I was just listening. I just popped back up because I was minding my business. But crazy. But and Mr. Ben, if you guys call PhD for a black bitch again, I'm gonna pull my microphone out and cook both of y'all dumbasses.
I ain't gonna lie, he's a black bitch.
He's a black bitch.
You can roast her. You can.
Now, what would make any of y'all brothers think that's okay? What would make any of y'all think that is okay? Whether you know this black woman that he's calling the B word, or whether you don't know her, what would make any of y'all think that is okay for this bearded hooligan to get up on a stream because he disagrees with a woman, black woman in particular, and call her a bitch? You see what I'm talking about? That's what the harm. That's what the harm they can do. That's the harm it can do, Sharon.
Yeah.
provocations.
I don't know PhD. Right. I don't. Excuse me, man. I don't know PhD. Don't know at all. But I know if I was the owner of this channel, and the first time this white dude came on my show and disrespected any black woman, whether I agreed or disagreed with her, or liked or disliked her, click, he wouldn't come back again. I think this is one time you had his daughter on there, and now him.
Yeah, some people are chasing the dollar bills, and they will allow what's the word I'm looking for? Sensationalism, because it puts, butts in seats for viewership. Like, it has gotten to, well, this is not new, but people who have these channels as more than a hobby, they want it to generate income. And income means that it has to be popular. And if this sensationalism of some white man referring to a black woman in that way, is just an indication that he's willing to accept whatever's necessary to generate income. The thing about Bracy, that's his name, right, Sharon? Because I've been on the panel a time or two, and he's always been good to me. So I'm not saying anything, quote unquote, bad about his character. What I'm saying is there comes a time when you have a mind for business versus a mind for your principles, and he has, he made a decision. He was like, you know what? There's my principles. Like, I wouldn't talk. Like, if he was in Walmart and he saw some white man cursing a black woman out, calling her the B word, he probably wouldn't tolerate that. He would intervene, I would like to think, because he has exposed his sense of, principles. He was very vulnerable and forthright about what his principles are. However, when it comes to business, there are people that won't hesitate to compromise their principles to maintain income generation.
The almighty dollar, Melly, you're absolutely right.
Dollar bills.
Again, I'm not saying that's what you're doing.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
But there's enough people out there that's saying that you call your particular dream solution based, but I don't see any solution in having this guy on your panel.
I knew when I started seeing people paying to kick people off and keep people on that, okay, everybody's soul is compromised for business. That, it wasn't like, now, I'm not saying it was better before that. What I'm saying is that was an indication that, these people are chasing Benjamins and anything goes.
Yes. Let me welcome Black Hawk to the stage there. Black Hawk, welcome there, good brother. How you doing?
Happy Friday, Black
Hawk. How you doing, Mr. Music? This is Black Hawk. This is my first time coming on the panel. I'm a little nervous.
No, don't be nervous, brother. Listen, man, just speak your mind, bro.
What can I do to soothe you, brother? We welcome you. Come on now, don't be nervous. Like,
listen, the mere fact that you made my panel the first time you hopped on the panel, I'm honored, bro. Appreciate that. Good looking.
All right, thank you.
That's a compliment. It's like, oh my God, he took time out of his day to figure out how to get on the panel for the first time. I mean, like, we handling everything with you in mind at this point. So just let it roll. Let it roll from the soul, brother.
These panels, these panels that a lot of these white guys on there. See, my thing is, look, why are they so interested in what's going on black panels? I don't understand that. And some of these black guys are so stupid they're allowed to say anything. I don't get it. I really don't understand it.
That is a very, very good question, and that is a question that I would like these guys to answer, because as a black man, I could not go over to a white hosted chat stream and make these racial comments like this. I couldn't go over to their stream and call their women the B word without being dropped immediately. It wouldn't be done. So again, no disrespect. I don't knock any man's hustle. If this is your hustle, Sharon Bracey, all power to you. But I think your own cousin asked you this. Where do you draw the line? Brownsville, I think just a couple days ago he asked you that. Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line, bro? I think you went over the line with this one. Maybe it was a little sensationalized. Maybe it got out of hand, and maybe you thought PhD could handle, which I think she handled the white dude pretty well. But the mere fact that she shouldn't have to handle him at all.
Well, you know so much too, Mr. Music. I told Sharon, I said you got to blame Sharon. I said he's allowing these guys to come over here and disrespect his supporters who not give him these white guys not give him a red dime.
Absolutely.
You're not saying anything.
Right. And there goes another point, Sharon. It's just not me that noticing it. Fortunately for you, it's brought up on my platform, but I have been around other platforms because, you know, we all travel in kind of like the same YouTube circles where this kind of conversation has came up before to where you're calling yourself solution-based. How is this a solution? By allowing this dude, you know, it's not coming over. He's not coming over here to big up the community in no way, shape, no form. He's not coming over there to share grace or show grace. He's coming over there to literally destroy or make a mockery of. Why even let him on the panel? That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Let's continue with this right here. Listen.
You can post her, but that whole black bitch shit, that's unacceptable. That's
I'm a PhD. Okay, congratulations. What the fuck? That's the problem with the PhDs of the world. Stop getting out here acting like ghetto trash
and there goes the problem right there. I don't know whose voice that is, but I know I've heard it before. This is a problem. After the white dude comes on the panel, curses out PhD, but calls her, I'm going to go ahead and use it, a bitch. Then very next voice you hear is a brother acting like PhD is the problem. So to go with what we see on the screen here, Sean Willie, you're absolutely right. The reason those white little house and talk to you black women this way is because you loose niggas is over there talking like that. And they feel it's all right. Hey, y'all tell your own that y'all don't want no respect, so why the fuck do we? Why should we? Folks?
You are Borgin. Or choppy or whatever people call it these days. But yeah, your communication is choppy sometimes, you know.
Okay, how about now? Is that good?
I'm not sure whether the videos are more clear than when you talking to your microphone. I can't compare the two, but right now, as somebody that cares about your production, I just want to tell you that because I would be disingenuous if I didn't tell you, you know, you're Borgin and you're choppy and you're choppy and you're Borgin. So you can do what you want to do with that, but I'm just letting you know.
No, I appreciate you telling me that, Melly. That's sometimes it's good to have a panelist up here. You know, that way if I do drop a Borg or something like that, you know, you especially when you got smart.
See, like right now, you sound clear as a bell.
You sound clear right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, but you know, again, when y'all hear me start Borging, just try and pick up where I left off at. All right, we'll get through this. We'll work through this one way or the other. So, where was I at anyway? Oh yeah, I was talking to Sharon. Is that am I still clear? Like I said, Sharon, you name your place, you name your stream the solution base, but there's no solution in this here, brother. Would y'all agree with that? There is absolutely no solution in this at all.
The intention is not to have solutions. The intention is to attain Benjamins.
But the thing about those white guys are not giving them money.
But
they're not giving them money.
But they bring some type of value. Like when people, you know, argue like that, it brings viewership, it brings some type of value, depending on, you know, I
I just
I I,
I
I
disagree.
find it unfortunate because I've also participated in these types of situations, right? I've called men out of their names, women out of their names. I've been called out of my name, and I've had false accusations against me. It's sensationalism, and unfortunately, that the truth. Nobody gives a damn about the truth. They just want to laugh out loud. That's what they want to do. And some people's appetite for laughter has, um
Comes
how
at
can
the
I put this,
expense of other people.
a very morbid level, right?
Hmm.
It's like, some people, they just have to see something that's just totally off the chain, otherwise known as morbid in my book, to be entertained and stay. Because you got people, they'll click on somebody's channel and be like, okay, they're boring, they ain't talking about shit. And they click on someplace else. What the channel holder might be interested in is keeping the attention of the audience so they can stick and stay. And that's of value to them. It's not always about cash apps. It's not always about subscriptions. It's about keeping the
So
attention.
Miller, wouldn't some,
I'm sorry, what?
so let me ask you, I heard,
You're barking
let me ask you
again.
this. So
No,
when you say that response, uh,
You're barking again. I don't know why. Can you repeat it? Maybe you're clearer now. What's your question?
yeah, okay. Okay. Would some responsibility be aimed towards soon?
it's black supporters, I would think.
I didn't hear the
His
question.
channel?
Say what? Can you repeat that, please? Could you? I'm gonna catch up to it eventually as you get clearer. My connection is always not optimal, so I have full understanding of what you're experiencing. You know, and the last thing I heard you say was like,
Okay.
"Melon, what would you say?" That was it. I heard, "Melon, what would you say?" And then after that, it got
Okay.
kind of
Am I
choppy.
back now?
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
are.
Okay. All right. I think my internet's really down bad tonight. There, I'm looking at my meter. It's going in and out there, folks. So I'm going to try and do this as best I can. And I apologize for the working that's going on. And I thank much for Mella and Black Hawk for holding down the fort here for me. But Mella, can you hear me? My question to you is: wouldn't some of the responsibility be bestowed upon the people that consume Sharon Bracey's channel?
That's the thing. There's it's Wild Wild West. There's I'll put it this way: as a military service member, there's no code of conduct established
Uh,
except by that a person would be penalized for using something against YouTube policy. The only code of conduct is what goes against YouTube policy. Other than that, you can just it's Wild Wild
so that
West.
Right. So the sky's basically what you're saying is the sky's the limit as long as they don't break the
Outside,
you.
other than YouTube policy, do what you can get away with, and that's what it appears to me. I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware,
Well,
the only
what
thing
about
a channel holder who conducts live streams has to be concerned about is YouTube policy. That's
But what
it.
about the people? But what about the black people that donate money to him?
But well,
right?
the,
What about you, Black Hawk? What's your sentiment on that, brother?
I'm gonna
like
tell you the truth.
oh,
These
go
guys,
ahead.
look, They know these guys look like Fatty and all them. They visit these guys' panels, these white panels. That's why they come. Chaotic Truth, that's why they come. Angry Man, that's why they come. And those white guys be dragging me behind too. Call them monkeys, dumb, stupid.
Yes.
Oh,
Apes.
yeah. It's definitely very demonic and poisonous. Because it's clear to see. It's clear to see that some of these guys who are greedy, they have dragged other people who sensationalize their channels to other channels. And next thing you know, you got this whole crop of crackers that are, attempting to degrade Black people. It's like, where these crop of crackers come from? Like, it's because they brought other people that have been accepted by, the volume of donations they're celebrated to have received.
Right. I think Black Hockey probably hit the nail on the head a little bit. How did they find out about these channels? Because I mean, YouTube is like a void. There's a vast void. Anything that you can think of, you can go and find on YouTube, or you can see on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Zero? But
people bring them over from
that's
their
my point exactly.
Profiting from that.
Exactly. So that's how they get. That's how they get here. So again, that's my point. What I'm saying, Mel, it's some of these people that are down in these particular. Well, since we're talking about Sharon Bracey's channel, listen again. Nothing against what he does over there, how he operates his channel, but where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line?
It's your own consciousness. It's your own. Like, if you have made a decision, like say hypothetically somebody got paid 1,000 or more in one night, right? And they noticed the correlation of getting paid more for some white guy calling the Black woman the N-word than when not. It's not surprising that they're going to eventually start allowing it because it generates income. It's all about generating income.
I have another idea. For some reason, they try to look. If you know all these white guys that show up, look, and Homeland Security is looking at the manosphere, right? They come to try to destroy it.
That's exactly
right.
it.
That's what they're doing.
Beware the Trojan horse. Am I correct?
Right.
Homeland Security is not going to shut down anybody that's calling people the N-word, unfortunately. And that's the thing. It's like, for whatever reason, our people haven't established a long time ago that that's a no-no word. And so it's still up for grabs to utilize it as somebody sees fit, unfortunately.
Right. What I don't think he's saying, but of course,
I think it should be categorized as a hate. It should be categorized under the Hate Crime Intention Act. If I governed anything, that word is a Hate Crime Intention Act. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because it's everyone is familiar with the history of it in this country. Thereby, the history of it is associated with a level of foulness that ought not to be repeated. And
hey, Mel, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How you feel about all these white guys? Come on these channel call Black women niggas and bitches.
It's not. It's just awful. It's awful. It's awful because what it is they're exploring their appetite for degrading Black people. They're exploring their appetite to do it. It's like people that just itch and crave to call another person the N-word, right? And I've done it myself. It's an attempt to put somebody in their quote unquote place, right? It's a distractionary term. Because and that was, what? I'm glad you asked that, brother, because that reminds me, there was a time when people had the nerve to say that the N-word was a term of endearment. Like how that, just like they said Bill Clinton was an honorary Black man. It's like, how confused with this cage around our brains are we going to get? Like, that word has no place in language, period.
Yeah, you're right, Mela. But I think let's go back to the question he asked you. How do you feel about it personally? I mean, when you see these folks these white
I
guys
think
come
it's
up on the panel,
appalling and unnecessary.
right? But okay, so then how do you address that to the channel holder as a black woman? You see not only Sharon's channel, we're
You
just
just
using
turn
his
it
channel
off.
as an example. So
If
what do you
if you feel that deeply about it, tune out. Like, just
See?
change the channel. Like, it's really in your control to not pay attention to foolishness you don't want to engage in.
Hey Mel,
If you
you know
want
this
to be
white guy
there
named
with it,
Flow State Live. This white guy Flow State that be on all these channels.
if you want to be there with it, that means you're curious about how the flow is going to go, and
well,
that's your right too. And a
I,
lot of us are swept up in gawking, gaping and watching and listening to stuff
no,
that's just foolishness. Like, I would like to think I'm more intelligent than paying attention to dumb stuff, but there's something about me in
but
some compartment of my brain that's still interested in dumb stuff. Like, you know, and
That's
when
why
you
they do it.
and when you realize that, wait a minute, I'm addicted to watching dumb stuff. That's when you start becoming irate, attacking the channel holder, like, I can't believe you letting this happen. And, all that stuff that really wastes your time when all you simply have to do is just change the channel. That's all you got to do.
right.
So,
I understand. Right, you're right. You say simply change the channel, but that works. I mean, that the easiest thing to do if you don't like something is to walk away. But and again, with this climate, wouldn't walking away be the same thing as not doing anything? If you just I don't like it. I
here's
don't
the
like it,
thing.
so I'm not gonna watch it. So, and I'm not going to tell anybody else about it. I'm not going to tell everybody, hey, this is some fucked up shit going over
Well,
so
now,
that's channel. I'm just
I
not going to watch it
agree.
anymore.
I agree for those who are ambitious enough in that regard, they can start a campaign to protest. But, you know, it depends on the individual. Like, there are some individuals that are uh that don't view themselves as control freaks. They think they're taking up a campaign. It's like, we're gonna shut this channel down. We're gonna do, and it's like, on a grand scale in life, um, it's gonna take more energy for you to shut down a popular channel than to just turn the channel.
They will shut you down though.
Okay.
The white people will shut you down.
Right, right. They'll shut you down, and we've seen prime examples of that. How many of these channels are that
Some
we saw
people
2 years ago is no
some
longer around
people have
anymore?
enough support to support that kind of
Okay,
campaign,
okay.
but
Well,
people doing it by themselves, like,
tell
say for
Cynthia,
instance, I
tell
wanted to
Cynthia.
protest somebody's channel by myself. That was going to take a lot of energy, man.
Okay, a smaller. Tell Cynthia G that a small unknown white lady channel took her channel down.
No, that white lady had some resources and support to gather what it took
Right,
to take Cynthia down. She didn't
right.
do that by herself.
Basically, she did.
No, her name is on it, but she didn't do that by herself, is what I'm saying. Her
Right.
name is on it. She didn't have some magical rock that spoke to her. All you gotta do is,
Okay.
type
The
in this
reason.
to take her
Okay.
channel down.
Right. The
She
reason why.
she was
No.
advised. She
Right. The
complained to
reason.
people and was
No.
advised by people how
No.
to
Right.
do it.
Right. Exactly. So the same egregious things that the other black YouTube channels holders was complained about Cynthia G. Nothing was done, and we're going back to what you said earlier. Nothing was done until some lowly white lady, and I'm not being disrespectful, because no one knew of her channel, no one knew that she existed until we found out that she was the reason why Cynthia G's channel finally got taken down.
Somebody told her how to do it. She didn't know how to do it herself. Somebody
Right.
told her how to do it. Or she would be shutting down channels that she finds offensive everywhere.
Hey Mel,
Somebody told her how to do it.
hey Mel,
YouTube.
have you noticed these black guys never call a white woman a bitch?
Say what?
They never. Have you noticed these guys? They would call a black woman a bitch before they call a white woman one. You know why?
They're, that's not a
They won't.
secret.
Okay,
That's
well,
not
here's
yeah,
right.
that's
Well,
not
no,
a secret.
case in point. Let's talk about your favorite. I don't know. Do y'all know that Angry Man has more followers than the Vice President of the United States? Did y'all know that?
Yep.
He has more followers in the. But how many times have you gone over to an Angry Man stream or on a panel where Angry Man is at, Amella, and he's called a black woman the B word?
What I do know is what.
Countless.
Wait a minute. What I do know is that I'm still subscribed to him for some strange reason, and I ignore the double hockey sticks out of him because I already know what he's about. He's about making sure he gets paid, and calling black women the B word gets people paid.
He would not call a white woman that.
That's the point.
He
That's the point
doesn't.
of these.
He
That's the
doesn't
point of these whole streams. Calling out
because it brings more trouble than profit to do that. It
but
doesn't
Miller,
bring
Miller,
trouble.
the
You
people
know,
that are
like I mean, you all are like preaching to the
Okay.
choir right now.
No,
It's
no,
like
no,
everybody in
no, you-
America
wait,
knows that it's cool to disrespect black women. Like everybody in America knows that. So y'all preaching to the choir.
Well, it seems to me some black women don't know that because you just said it yourself. You're still
strapped to him.
Angry Man. So that
I'm not
counts.
saying.
No,
What
I'm not. Wait.
I'm saying is,
I'm
I'm
not saying
glad
that
you
you
brought
want.
it up so I can
Wait.
unsubscribe.
Okay.
I will
Okay. Wait.
unsubscribe. I forgot I was subscribed to him. I forgot.
But that's here's
I
this.
subscribed to him like 8 years ago.
Okay, but
And
this.
I haven't
Okay.
watched any of his live streams because I already knew that the way he talked to certain people, like I used to frequent a channel, I think it was DJ Kuda, and I hate to bring him up in case you don't approve. But what I'm saying is there was a time when Angry Man was doing his travel tour, right? He would show up on Auntie, he would show up on, just various panels. He would just randomly show up and everybody would give him applause. Oh, Auntie, guess what? Angry Man in the channel. He in the chat. Bring him up. And Angry Man would come up with his little $10, maybe up to $100 donation, whatever, just to talk his smack, right? And when you hear that time after time after time, you know what he's about. You know what he's about.
Well,
And
that is my point. So this goes back to what I was asking you
I
earlier,
think the
Melanie.
only reason I originally subscribed to him was because he was familiar. He was a familiar critic of Cynthia G. Like there was this whole thing where he was getting exclusive interviews with Cynthia G. They would have debates. He would let her win, and he would let her win, and he would subjugate himself to her until the rumor came out that she had this baby, by some, what was that word she used? Coon. It was something. It was some phrase.
Three trash bag Dusty.
No, it was prior to that. It was Dusty Beta Male Coon. That was it.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
that was her term that she was using feverishly. And so Angry Man was entertaining her, and he was grateful for her presence and accommodating her and not talking one type of jive word to her, I promise you. And then here comes the baby, right? Here comes the baby, the whole rumor about the baby. And next thing you know, he did an entire live stream about how he can't believe that he almost gave a black woman respect, and from that day forward, he wasn't giving black women respect whatsoever.
Well, no, he was over there for a reason. He was over there because Cynthia G attracted a crowd, and he was trying to get that crowd over to his place. So that's again. This goes back to what I'm saying is when I go over to Angry Man's platform, I'm not there to subscribe.
He wasn't cussing her out before the rumor of the baby.
Oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true.
He wasn't cussing out Cynthia G before the rumor of the baby.
Oh no, that's not true.
Okay.
But anyway,
I admit that I might misremember it. Okay.
yeah,
But from what
he,
the live streams I've seen with him and her on his channel, because
yeah, he did a
he
whole
was accommodating the hell out of her. And then here comes this beta male coon phrase that she was using on a regular basis. And everybody thought it was funny at first until the baby. And when the baby, it was like, wait a minute, you had a baby by a beta male coon. You a
well,
hypocrite. And
right
after
that
they shut down their respect for her.
well, no. Well, that was to me that to a lot of people that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I think the biggest thing, the angry man, he might have did 100 streams on that one particular comment that Cynthia G said that you should that black women should not have black male babies. So that
Well, that came later. Like I think the baby was probably 2 or 3 years old by then.
No. She said this. Well, anyway, I don't want to make this about Cynthia G and the angry man, but right.
And
But my
angry
point
man, he dyes his beard anyway. He's just trying to be, he's just trying to present himself as a commodity. He's saying what he got to say to get paid.
What commodity? What as someone that's been over the Angry Man's channel, Miller?
Remember, there was a time he lost the name Angry Man, and he had to fight to get that title back associated with him. Remember that?
No.
Hey, man, can I do this right here?
Go ahead.
Okay, I troop August 21st. The way this white man drugging him. Look, he didn't curse about nothing. But look, even Angela White called him dumb and stupid. He didn't cuss her out. But Fancy Island girl, he called her all kind of bitches.
Thank you.
All kind of hoes.
Thank you. And this is the point that we're making, Melon. This is the point that I'm making to any black woman that follows these type channels. This is the point to it.
I no longer follow those channels.
Right. When I'm saying you, Mel, I don't mean you, but you women as a whole. You are as I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but you guys are the consumers of social media, radio, TV, and all that. A lot of the commercial.
I'm not following those channels.
I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just saying for people in general. When you go into a BGS's channel, or you go into Angry Man's channel, or if you go into some of these chaotic truth channels, if you start looking down in the chat room, there's black women in there that are agreeing with these type men. That's my point. No, that is my point.
I think it's disturbing for people to agree with degrading other people. I think that is a disturbing personality trait.
But they don't do it to other people. They only do it to.
We know that already. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like okay, we know that it's lopsided. That's the word I'll use. We know it's lopsided. So now what? What you want us to do about it?
Stop going to their channels.
Stop going to their channels.
I don't.
Not you.
Nobody sees me over there.
Right, Mella, not you in particular. Okay, this stream is not about Mella herself. This when I say you, or I'm not going to speak for Black Hawk, but when he says you, he's not referring to you. What we're saying is stop going over to these channels that you know that are disrespecting women. Okay, here's another prime example. That's hot in the YouTube streets now. Everybody's talking about Jay Prince and the lady named what's her name, Flora, whatever her name is. Flora, I'm sorry, but you're
getting that I even know these people names. Like the fact that I'm aware of who Jay Prince is and Angry Man is and other people that have had, all types of degrading insults hurled at one another. Like, it's like I'm disenchanted now at this point. It's like, why am I doing this? Like, why?
That's the $1 million question, and I would wish with some of these, just like I asked the Trump supporters, I wish some of these folks that come over here and support the Angry Man or the BGSs would come up here and have a conversation with me. You guys, you say this guy is the master teacher about this, or you say the guy, this guy is all about the empowerment of black women. Okay, here's another.
There's a familiarity with deplorable behavior that sometimes is difficult to cut loose until you become awakened and you realize this shit is stupid.
Well,
It's like
how much more weight they got to be?
it depends on how long they listen to rap music, to be honest with you, because
No,
you know there was a time that I mean, come on now, there was a time when our musical interest emphasized uprising, upward mobility, you know, just looking forward to bigger and better things,
do you
and
still go to
not
the 90s
so much
channel?
now. Not so
Do you
much
still go to the
now.
90s channel, Miller? Do you still go to the 90s channel?
Not like I used to. I sang him a song just to let him know no hard
Why?
feelings. No hard
How'd you cuss
feelings.
you out?
Say what?
On
You cuss
several
you out.
occasions.
I cut him out too. That's what I'm saying. I'm not innocent in this whole participation scheme. I
For
have
talking.
done
You
some
put you out for talking like
crazy
you're doing
shit.
now.
I have done some crazy
Okay, by now,
insults.
Miller, I can guarantee you this. A couple of those panels, if you would have been on by now, one of those men on those panels that we're talking about would have either called you out your name or told you to tell you to shut up. Right or
Here's
wrong.
the thing, right? Here's the thing about being called out your name.
Simple question. Yes,
Here's the
simple
thing.
answer. But before you go into that, just answer my question, yes or no. By now, somebody on one of those panels that we have mentioned
When it comes to these black channels, yes, these black channels, when it comes to entering a black male channel as a black woman, more likely than not, you eventually will be disrespected. That is the fact of the matter. That is a fact.
When you say, okay, wait, I'll take that back. I agree with you because you said black male. You have never been disrespected on my channel.
Thank goodness.
Never. And you never will. You know why? Because that's not in me. Because as soon as I feel that that our conversation is getting to the point to where it may be, you may be feeling heated, or I might be feeling heated, my natural instinct is going to say, I don't.
Yeah,
hey,
there
music.
there was a time.
You don't argue with women. You don't talk bad to women.
There was yeah, and that's you know, I mean, my God, that's commendable. And it's unfortunately rare amongst black men in America. Like black men in America have not a lot, not a lot of them. I'm not saying all. I'm just saying that there's a reputation. I'll put it that way. There's a reputation that black men are mean-spirited. That's
Okay,
what exists.
Hold on. Mella, hold on. Let me play a little bit more of this video here. Okay, hold on just a second.
Sure.
And white men are to disrespecting men on YouTube and then come out later and say I'm educated. All right, that's the disappointing part.
Hold on, young. Go ahead, Ben. We're gonna let you get it uninterrupted. Go ahead.
Oh no, we interrupted now.
Oh, now she's gonna interrupt me.
Okay. You interrupted me.
Oh, now she's gonna.
Hold on. Let's have the back and forth.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Right, and you can't tell me
Now,
any of that.
There is
you
such a
shriveled
thing
dick bitch.
Listen to her go.
You shriveled
Sharon,
dick bitch.
You've got to be a man.
Right, and you're not a man. Nothing about.
That's what I wanted to. Next thing I wanted to address. Did you hear what he said, Sharon? You have got to be a man to get this woman under control. Sharon, if that was me that said that to you, that would have got your dyer up. That would have said, hold on a second. I am a man. This guy just said, Sharon, be a man. Step up to the plate and handle this unruly black woman that's on your panel. All you did was put your hand on your head, brother. Mella, go ahead.
Yeah. So these panels that are interracial and mixed gender are zoo exhibits. It's like watching Wild Kingdom. It's really pitiful, you know, until you realize that you are no longer a sick-minded person. Like there was a time I was a very sick-minded individual. My health wasn't the best, and I was angry and sick. And what pleased me more than finding out what type of proper meal planning worked best for my recuperation was cussing out people because I could do it.
So
I love
basically,
that. I ain't gonna lie. I heard this black woman refer to this white man in such a way, and I've heard this white man refer to Sharon as not being a man. I've heard everything you've demonstrated. What I'm saying is these are sick-minded individuals who are taking their frustrations out on others because they can, because I've done it too. I know what it's like to take your frustrations out on
right.
people.
Mela,
I know what that's
I
like.
see what you're saying, but in this case, this is what I see is this white man coming over there trying to assert his dominance on a black panel. First, by screaming at the black woman. Let me finish. First, by screaming at the black woman. Since the black woman, as he called her, combative, what do I do next? I'm going to check the black man by saying, get this woman under control.
That
That's
white guy
exactly what
doesn't
I see.
respect either one of them.
My point exactly. He does not
that's
respect.
evident.
That's my point. That is my point,
So
Miller. He
what do
does
you
not
want,
respect
Sean?
either one of them.
What's
So
his name?
why in the hell is he on this panel?
Because that man wants to make money.
From who?
From who?
Everybody. Bracy wants to make money. That's why he allows
that's
that
the
behavior.
point of, right. But this is the point of this.
He's not trying to enlighten anybody or save
this is
people's.
the point
He's not.
of it is
He's not.
how
He's not trying
far.
to be anybody's savior.
Right.
He's
This is the
making
point of it.
money.
Right.
From
This
who?
is the point of it. How far are you willing to go as the consumer?
That's up to him. Oh, you mean the consumer? Oh, yeah. Well, people can change the channel, and right now, depending on how sick-minded people want to take themselves, they're not ready to change the channel. And he's going to exploit it, as is his lawful right. It's his lawful right to exploit people that want to listen to dumb shit. That's his lawful right.
Okay.
I'm not defending it. I'm just stating the facts.
Let me welcome Char Willie. Welcome to the show, Char Willie. What's your comments so far on anything that we've talked about?
Hey, Chicago sister Char Willie. Hey.
Hello, I've been drinking, so forgive me if it don't come out right.
I'm gonna go on mute because this is gonna be good.
I've been drinking. I've been smoking.
So I apologize to both genders, and any other extra genders out there besides male and female. When it comes down to this white guy on this panel, the black guy, the channel owner, Sharon Bracey, is going to accept whatever Mr. Charlie says. I need Mr. Charlie so I can make me some money. You right, boss. You right. Yeah, that's it, boss. Yeah, that's right, boss. So if he disrespects his black woman, that's fine. It's okay, boss. That's it. That's what we do, boss. Because we really don't him don't have that much respect for that black woman anyway. So it's okay for Mr. Charlie to come up and do the same thing. It is so unfortunate. It is so unfortunate, but this has been going on forever. It's just in social media now. That's where we are in 2024. Yes.
Right. It just infiltrated into social media. And Black Hawk, you said this, and I'll repeat this because I've heard it in the YouTube streets. They've actually said this to him in his own panel. The reason why you allow some of this to go on, Sharon Bracey, is because you are married to a white woman. Y'all thoughts on that? Can't touch that.
Just repeating what I just said. You don't respect your own kind, the black woman, so there's nothing new here.
It's okay.
There's nothing new here.
Right. It's okay. There's absolutely no way that, first of all, I wouldn't allow this guy to come up on my panel because I would do my homework on him, my history on him. So there is a history between the channel holder and the person that's over on the screen now. But before we go any further, listen to some more of this. Let's just listen to this.
You says man.
She won't stop.
Right. Nothing
She
about
will
you
not
says
stop.
man.
Look
All
at
right,
me.
go
This is
ahead,
what I see
Ben.
black men do. They put their head in their hands because they
Woo,
can't
woo.
tell
Right.
a bitch
Exactly.
to
So let
shut
them
the
put it
fuck.
Now this is a stream. This is a live stream where there's several black men down in the chat room. There's several black men that's in the back, and none of them said anything to this white dude about what he just said. None of them.
Just
they're all-
disrespecting them.
Every one of you black men on that panel got disrespected just now.
Whop. Just slapped him.
Wait a minute. I got something for that. Hold on just a second. I got something just for that. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a damn second. I got something just for that.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
You ain't getting off that easy. Hey, Shar.
Yes.
What did the five fingers say to the face?
What did the five fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
That's exactly
what he did.
That's what he did to y'all. Every black man that was in that chat room, because if I would have been on the panel, if I'd have been down in the chat room, I would have came up and addressed that. Even if I had to pay to kick somebody off. Even if I would have had to pay to get somebody off that panel to address what he just said.
And you know, if another black man would have said that to him, man, what's that all about?
Right, all hell would have broke loose. Say that again, Shaw. All hell would have broke loose.
What you talking to, man?
Oh, nigga, please.
That's just what they would have said.
Exactly. They take it from Mr. Charlie, though.
Okay. And this is the point that I'm trying to point out to all of us, as I say, us as a collective black YouTube content creators. Some of us have more of an audience than other ones. You own, as a channel owner, as someone that has people down in their chat room, owe it to us as those people that support you, not to allow folks like this in our spaces.
Well, the first solution is to say no to profanity as a rule for your panel. But you will find that it's difficult for people to institute that rule because they themselves use profanity.
Yeah, I mean,
I introduced the solution 10 years ago. I said the solution is when holding panel discussions, profanity is not allowed. And they were like, get out.
As much as that's a pipe dream, because as much as we would really want to believe that would be the case, there would be more, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that, then it would actually be okay. Just keep it. I mean, there's some words, of course, that you know that trigger words for the majority of the panels. You can't say.
So there are allowances for people not to control themselves, except for what others don't approve of. That's what I'm saying. Put a whole blanket over that inflammative concept that profanity in any form is all right, because it's not. And profanity in any form is unintelligent. It's unintelligent, and it ought not to be allowed in discussions where there are serious topics.
No, you're missing it. This white guy think we're inferior to him. We can do anything to us.
I don't care what that white guy thinks. What I'm saying is, if profanity was not allowed on this person's panel, he would have been kicked off the moment he said something. Period. But they won't institute a non-profanity use.
Because that would be virtually impossible. That would be virtually impossible.
It's not
virtually,
impossible.
Yes, it is.
It is not impossible to
on those.
institute a channel that refuses to accept profanity in conversations. It is not
Right.
impossible to do that.
Well, no, I
Go
didn't
to a
say
white channel
impossible.
and disrespect a black woman, a white woman. Go to a white channel and try it and see what they do.
See what
Go
they
ahead.
do. Go ahead. Go to a MAGA channel and disrespect one of these MAGA women.
Anyway,
See what
people
happens.
were asking for solutions. I gave a solution 10 years
Well,
ago, and I was,
it's
because
okay.
people don't want to change. They want to
Okay, Mello.
control others.
Okay, Mello. Let me get at this. Okay. Let me put this at you. Okay. You say have a no cussing channel. Okay. No, you can't say what you want to say.
Profanity.
No profanity channel.
Yeah.
That is the evening news. Right?
People can have a discussion without using profanity, believe it or not.
Right, but not
But
in
what?
not
It's
in the
boring?
streets, not in the YouTube streets that we travel, because
So
wait, let me finish. Because the
now we're
majority of
talking
the
about control issues then.
No,
See?
what I'm saying is because most of the YouTube channels are not channels of solution. They are channels that they're channels of triggering. Somebody says something. A lot of these channels just to wait till somebody say something that they don't like. They don't hear anything else until somebody mentions something that they don't like, or some woman says something that they don't agree with, or somebody's up on the panel. So you're never going to have a
What
profanity
really
free channel,
rings the
not in these
bell,
streets.
what really rings the bell of confusion in a lot of minds of us as Black people is that we complain without the intention of actually solving anything. It's not apparently it's not the intention to do anything other than complain about this white man that called this Black woman out of her name instead of recommending what future panelists could institute for self-control.
Lord have mercy.
Okay, well okay.
So I
Yeah.
mean, because
This
if
is
you want to go out, if you
Mella.
want to hang this white man
This
from a
this
tree, I'm like, hey, yeah, that could
no
work.
no
Can you
no
find him?
no
You
no
know,
no
I'm
no
I'm like,
no
what?
no no
All we do is
no
complain.
see
That's all we do.
no 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 this is not
What's the
a
point of
complaint. This
complaining
is
if you're not going to
correction.
do anything about it?
The point of the matter is I am doing something about it. This guy won't come on my panel. I am pointing out what I see, what's wrong with part of the YouTube back streets. Part of what I see here as someone that don't go up on these panels as a consumer of what the black streets are. The question was asked, not on this stream, but several streams ago. What would be the harm of allowing a white person to come up on a panel and with their First Amendment right say the N-word? And my question is, every time I see things like this is my answer. This is the result of why. This is the result. So this time it just happened to be on Sharon Bracey's channel. The next time it may be on Chaotic Truth's channel. The next time it may be on someone else's channel. So someone has to point out what they see to be wrong. To
You know
correct
what also disgusted me, DJ Music, right? There's this guy named Angel, right? He's been known to use the N-word against Black people. And apparently it amplified his personality to the point where he's getting cash apps, right? Do you know he confessed not too long ago he took cash apps and he invested them in some type of stock and he profited about 35, maybe 45%. So once again, with these hundreds of years of knowledge, once again, people are profiting off of Black people allowing others to say things against them, demoralizing them, degrading them. That's a pattern that has to stop, and I believe it can stop once a channel holder would institute a no profanity zone. You know, because the N word is a profane. That's a profane word.
it's an incendiary word. Incendiary. That's what the N word is. But since you brought up Angel, let me speak on him for a second, Melon. Again, me, I'm one of those guys that say sympathy.
That guy got the nerve to
Mella.
say. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm one of those guys that feel that if you have an affliction, then I understand that. But in Angel's case, someone with autism, as we think that he has, or we think that he is, or that he's slow. Who's the slow one? The people that's super chatting him, or is Angel a slow one? He's not that slow. Why is he not that slow? Because he's up on these panels. He's using the N word because he knows it's incendiary. He likes attention. We give it to him because we feel sympathy. Angel is another one that will never be on my platform. If he was down in this chat room now to say, hey, can I hit the link? No, you can't. Because I know your character already. Under the guise of I'm autistic or that I'm slow. So again, to Angel, it's sympathies in the dictionary between the shit and syphilis. Which one you want? Now go ahead, Mella. Mella?
I agree. He's using his announced disability as for attention seeking, and he's putting some, lettuce, pickles, onions, and tomatoes on it with using the N word because that word, as inflammatory as it is, generates some type of applause for him, right? And even though he has confessed that he only did it to react to people that were charging against him, there's something to be said about that. A lot of times people are provoked and next thing you know, they come out of a bag. There's something to be said about that. However,
he wasn't provoked. He wasn't.
There are people. There are people that have made fun not only of Angel but Big J Triple X. Like there was a time he made fun of him stuttering, and then he would come out of the bag.
Right. As you can see from time to time, if you listen to my streams long enough, I do have a speak right now. Sometimes my words come out quicker than I can say them. So, but that's a big difference between
you're mature, and that's the difference.
No, there's a difference between what we're doing as a natural affliction and what Angel is doing. Okay, Angel says that he has autism. We understand that. Mella, I have an autistic son as well. My autistic son would never speak to people that way. Never. Absolutely, positively never. And believe me, my son operates on what they call a savant level. That's what he is.
It's apparent that Angel has a deplorable character.
That's his character. Whether he's autistic or whether he's, as they say,
exactly. Just because somebody is disabled doesn't mean they're not deplorable.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Hey, Bill, what do you think of Chaotic Truth?
I'm sorry, what?
Chaotic Truth.
Oh, he's referred to himself as the coon, so that's what I think he is.
Thank you. Right. That's another one. That's another one of those guys that run around with a MAGA hat on, seeking attention. Okay, listen. If you want to, since we're gonna talk, since we brought him up, he seems to be a staunch Trump supporter. If you're a Trump supporter, that's fine. Chaotic Truth and any of you other Trump supporters, bring me some policies. Don't bring me some concepts, because that's what your boy told you he had out of his own mouth. He don't have no policies. All he has is concepts. So I'll go over to Vice President Harris's website and show y'all some policies. Well, meanwhile, y'all go to the drawing board and pull up some concepts and see if that shit'll work for y'all. Bring it on up here. Let's talk about policies over concepts. that came out your boy's mouth. But this chaotic truth, wearing those MAGA hats and saying the things that you say, you're another one of those guys that just look for attention. You want attention any way you can get it, whether it be good attention or bad attention, as long as someone is paying attention to you. In this case, like y'all say about Sharon Bracey, it's about the money. But in this case of chaotic truth, it's about people looking at me, listening to me. That's enough. That is enough for me. Angry man, as long as people are listening and looking at me, that's enough for me. This dude, Angry Man, says he has more followers than the vice president of the United States. I want y'all to grasp that for a minute. This dude, Angry Man, that you can go type in on Google right now, type in the Angry Man. His picture is probably one of the last things that gonna show up. But then go and type in Vice President Harris and see all the shit that's on her. You mean to tell me this dude got more followers than her?
He even have more than I do too.
He got more followers than you, Mr. Trump?
Yes, and I'm 45. He got more than I do too.
Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. We got Mr. Trump. You're on the welcome to the show. Listen, I have some questions for you. Can I ask
I
you one
hope
question?
you're healing from your wounds.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fabulous.
Can
Fabulous.
I ask you a question, Mr. Trump?
Only just a few, because I don't really want to do any panels or anything like that. I'm doing
You
just
have to
fine.
go see about the black jobs.
Yeah,
I
that was
did.
my question. Right, that was my question, Mr. Trump. What is black jobs?
It's those jobs that the Biden, he lets all those people in and they're going to take your black jobs. But I promise, as president, I'm going to bring back the black jobs.
So, Mr.
Make
President,
black jobs great
or
again.
right.
Just for you.
So,
Just for you, Meta.
45 question.
Yes.
Can I listen? So you say that the migrants are coming over from the southern border, and they're taking the black jobs.
Yeah, that's what Biden is doing, and then Kamala too. She's part of it.
What particular
This
jobs
Kamala.
are the migrants coming over taking jobs of substance? Are they coming over taking jobs that what we find would be like low wage jobs, like the service industry, maybe the farming industry, where the sharecrop, where they go, the migrant fruit pickers and stuff like that? Or are these migrants coming in and taking the supervisory positions in Fortune 500 companies? Are they managers in warehouses, or are they city and government officials and stuff like that? Or are they just coming in taking these low level jobs? Is that what you mean by black jobs? Because I've heard a few black people say, well, Trump says that he's going to give us all black jobs. So does that mean you're going to relegate black people to the service industry, and that's it? I know
I'm
that
not
was a long
saying
question.
that, but this it's okay. It's okay, Stevie Music. Like I said before, you need to just stick to the music. But anyway, what's really going on is, they're gonna take your Uber jobs and your Lyft. I know you like to do that, because you guys like those fast cars and you like to drive and everything. But they're gonna take all those jobs.
Mr. President, Tim Scott here, Mr. President. I still love you, Mr. President. But why you didn't pick me for vice president?
Former president.
What? He my president. Shut up, lady. Mr. President, you know I still love you, right?
That's what I like. That's what I like. You're my
But
black friend.
why you didn't pick me for vice president? You broke my heart.
My apologies. I couldn't get you. I think your cell phone was off.
You didn't buy his golden gym shoes.
Well, Mr. President, what about
You
the
didn't
other
buy
guy?
his golden gym shoes. That's why he's not thinking about you, brother.
Mr. President, wait a minute. Let me go get my fake Jamaican accent. Hey, Lionel, Mr. President. Oh, that's Byron Donald's here. Byron Donald's here, sir.
Oh,
Why did you,
he's my friend too. Go ahead.
why did you pick me?
Well, I did call you, but I think you were just too busy trying to get married. I think that's what you were doing, and I just, got voicemail. I just hung up.
Okay. Any more questions from the panelists? Panelists?
Yeah,
Mr. President,
yeah.
this is about next.
Do
What
you
about me?
believe? Do you believe that your affair with that prostitute damaged your marriage with Melania?
Oh, that wasn't a fair. That was a transaction. Paid.
Transaction?
Yes, paid in
Does
full.
Melania even like you anymore?
Mr. President, you say bought and paid for?
That's a transaction. That's what we do in America. We do
Does
transactions.
Melania, your
No
wife, the
receipts.
mother of your tallest son, does she even like you anymore?
She talks to me some.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Yeah, she doesn't talk to me a lot, but she does when she needs to.
Is that right?
Yeah, only special
So,
occasions.
Mr. President, former Mr. President, if you happen to get elected back into office again, when you say that you wanted to be a dictator from the very first day, if the United States allows that, what would be the very first thing that you did as a dictator?
I think what I would do is try to get rid of that health care because that's just ruining America. I got a new plan. I'm not going to talk about it now, talk about it later, but just vote for
Well,
me and
well,
then you'll know.
Mr. Trump, back in just less than a week ago, I know it seems after that ass whipping that you took, excuse me, less than a week ago, it seems to me that the question was asked, and when the moderator said, "You've been at this for 9 years," you mean so 9 years you haven't come up with a plan yet, only a concept?
Well, I'm just not going to tell you what it's going to be. I'm going to work on it. We're going to put it all
Mm.
together. It's going to be fabulous. But just make sure you vote for me, and then you will see that plan go into action.
Okay, Mr. President, my name is Angerman. I'm a big YouTuber. If
Okay.
you get reelected, what you gonna do for my channel?
Oh, for your channel, I'm going to get more subscribers for you. I think you want to hit 1 million, but they're not going to donate to you. So you're still going to be asked out. Got to get one of those black jobs.
This is
So
fun.
you're gonna make YouTube
Shout
great
out to
again.
Shar. Shout out to Shar. This is great.
You gonna make YouTube great again, Mr. Trump.
Oh, YouTube is just trash right now. But it's good
Yeah.
right now that I'm on a panel, but it's going down. Too many people have been defrauding and all these different type of things. But that's okay. I, me, I will make America and
What,
Google better again.
well,
I
Mr. President,
me.
only you. So this is my next thing, Mr. President. There's been a big shakeup, another scandal. That the person that's directly the lieutenant governor of North Carolina has been directly connected to some a pornographic site where he says that he is the black Nacho
I think you're getting
and
that
a
confused with Diddy. I think that's who you're getting confused with.
no the lieutenant governor of North Carolina. I can't think of his name right now, but he visited a porn site, a African porn site, some years ago, and he left some comments in there under an alias. CNN broke this big expose last night of this particular congressman. I mean, this lieutenant governor that's going for the governor of North Carolina, that's running for the governor that you personally handpicked, sir.
Oh, that's fake news. CNN, yeah, fake news.
That's it. That's the only answer. Fake news.
Yeah, they're
That's
fake
what
news.
the man said.
Yeah, you make sure you vote for me though, and get rid of those other people.
Okay, well, Mr. Trump, I don't know if you just happened to just be stumbling around the YouTube streets, but earlier today I did a another upload of asking the young. Of course, I don't know if you've been reading the polls. I'm sure this is probably one of those polls that you probably be interested in. It says that 1 in 4 black men under the age of 50 will be either supporting you or voting for you this year.
That's wonderful. That's just
Okay,
wonderful.
as a black man, I gotta ask you, what you gonna give my brothers under the age of 50? What are those tangible things that you gonna give my brothers under the age of 50? There, Mr. Trump.
Well, I kind of explained that earlier about the black jobs. I got to make sure that they have them. That's very important. That's the main thing. If you have a job, you can make money, save money, and buy things. That's what I do.
Mr. President, as you see on the screen right there, someone that says, "Are you moving your hands around? Are you doing the accordion hands?"
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And
Woo!
and since that was brought up, why did it make you so mad when the vice president brought up your crowd size?
What is she so focused about my crowd size? Why? My size, it matters, but why does she has to be all looking at it?
Why does she have to be looking
I
at
think
your size?
I,
I
I
don't look
think
at her
the, I
backside.
think the, well, Mr. President, it's not what I heard. I heard that you said that on the picture that the vice president took that's on time, you said that she's a very attractive woman. So that means that that'd be a woman that you would go after.
No comment.
Oh, okay.
And
Any
Mr.
more
President,
questions? Go
Mr.
ahead. Go ahead,
Former
Mel.
President, do you have a problem with being referred to as former president?
Well, to keep from being kicked off this panel, I don't. But I don't really like that. Just call me 45. 45 is just wonderful. That number never changes.
Okay.
That's why you prefer 45 instead of former president. Okay. All right.
So, Mr. 45,
Yes.
here's a question that I haven't heard too many of the fake news or the folks on your favorite network, Fox News.
Yes.
Okay. Well, actually, I got a couple questions. My first question is: are you aware that at that debate there was no audience?
Are you talking about the debate I had with that Kamala
Yes.
lady?
Yes. Are you are aware that there was no audience there?
Well, the audience,
It
they
was
were watching. They just wasn't a
no, no,
live
no, no,
audience.
no, sir, no, sir. So the reason why I stated that first is because during your interview on Fox News, you said that the audience was cheering for you. What audience, sir?
The people that was watching it from their
No,
homes, from the
no, sir.
television, they were cheering.
You were
No, sir.
imagining that they were cheering.
Yes, sir.
I
Because
heard
you
the
used
hurrah.
the
I heard the hoorah. Okay. I heard it for
sir,
So you
myself.
have
sir,
audible.
sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, you mentioned that. You mentioned I can understand that if you just said that you knew that the people was outside of the audience cheering for you. I can understand that, but you literally used the word studio. The people in the studio audience went wow. They were cheering for me.
Well, there were some cameramen and everything. They were wild and cheering for me. But the people at home, that's the real studio. They were
But
No,
really happy.
you conveyed as if you audibly heard
yes, like there was an
applause
Yes,
actual live
yes, I
studio
and
heard it
audience.
in my
roars
spirit.
of
Yes.
approval.
Mr. Trump, don't listen to me, Trump. Hit my cash out.
Hit that cash out. Now, my next question to you, Mr. Trump.
Do you have
And,
black people working at your golf clubs?
or cleaning them.
Oh, I have a few. I have a few caddies, yes.
Those are the black jobs you're trying to get people.
Yes, I'm trying to get more. I need to play more golf. But I need to
Okay.
become
You
president
need
again.
caddies and custodians. Those are the black jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a few. Yes, those are a few.
So, Mr. President, on a serious note again, sir, if you don't win this 20 election coming up here within 40 some days or so, what are you going to do? Are you going to go peacefully into the good night, or are you going to say that the election was rigged?
No peace, no sleep. That's going to
No
be my
re-election, no peace.
No peace, no sleep.
No reelection, no peace.
It's not going to work out too well. That's what I'm going to
It's not going
say.
to work. Mr. President,
You're quite the son of a gun, 45. I'll say that.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
dodged
Colt
that bullet.
45. You're
You
at least a Colt 45. You are quite the son of a gun, for sure.
Colt 45.
Yeah. See, my
Billy D.
ears all
Williams.
right. Yeah, I dodged that gun.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. President, well, former Mr. President. That's another thing. How did you heal so miraculously? That doesn't even look like anything happened to your ear. Do you
Cocaine.
know what did they regrow you an ear or something? What did they do?
I have the best doctors,
The best.
the
I
best
can see.
medical team.
I
The
can see.
best
I can see your little
cocaine
hands. I can see your little hands
from
come out just now.
Colombia.
You did the according hands just now, didn't you? When you said I had the best doctors.
I do. It's wonderful. They're just wonderful and brilliant.
And Mr. President, about
Yes.
my country, Haiti. I mean, cats. Where you get that from?
Say that again.
But about Haiti, cats and dogs. Who told you that?
Oh, I seen it on the TV. The
Oh.
TV. It was right there.
So because you saw it on TV, that made it correct?
Yes, they played it on Fox News. It was
Oh
right
my
there.
God.
No, sir.
You didn't see it?
Sir, I do believe the last speaker was saying that he has a Haitian background. So let me ask you, sir, how do you feel about that statement that Donald Trump put out, that Haitians was eating the cats and the dogs? How do you feel about that statement, sir?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sir.
I'm appalled, man. I'm hurt. Cats, dogs. That's a effed up mess, man. Look, I was gonna vote for you, Mr. President, but when you said that, that's it. That's it.
Imagine.
That's a bridge too far, sir.
Yeah, that's too far, man. That's too far, man. You're going too
Just
far with
imagine
that.
walking your little puppy Rottweiler, and some Haitian jumps out of the bushes and kidnaps it. That's
Hey, Mel.
crazy.
Right. See, y'all hear the cats in the background getting ate up. Put the cats down.
Hey, Mel, are you going for are you a Trump supporter?
I used to watch The Apprentice. That's about it.
What's that you're eating, Black Hawk?
That's
What's
as
that I
much
hear you
support as
eating?
I ever given Trump. I used to watch The Apprentice. Okay, that's about it.
I never had. I never had watched The Apprentice. The only time I've watched The Apprentice is when of course the shorts of when I started paying attention to it is when Trump started running for office and they were showing the clips of it. That's the only time I've ever watched that.
Yeah. So that would explain January 6th, wouldn't it, 45? Because the concept of 87 million people saying you're fired is a problem.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Mr. Trump? 81 million people fired you. What do you think about that? I know you say you got a lot of votes.
It was just about a hair. It was just a hair. Just a hair. Just a few people.
So
that was it.
Are you admitting here on my show that you lost the election?
Just by a few votes. Just a few.
Folks, y'all hear that? We finally got a confession. He finally said it.
It's just a few. But make sure you're there at the polls to make sure I get back in.
Okay, so just one more question for you there again, there, Mr. Trump.
All right, sounds like dinner is ready, so yes.
So once you are what you having, cat? Once say you get elected, sir. The question
yes,
was
when
asked,
I get elected, yes.
What the question was asked during the debate, and neither you or no Vice President Harris answered the question, so I'll ask you now. Would the country be better off 4 years from now or 4 years ago?
The future is always bright. With me, I promise. It's going to be so fantastic, so spectacular. Just make sure you vote for me. You have your health care, you have your wall, because I'm going to make sure that wall is built. I didn't like what Biden did. I promise you, you're going to have jobs, black jobs, all kind of jobs, jobs everywhere for everyone.
Okay, Mr.
Really?
President, I just have one
One
thing
last question.
What? Just let me play this, Mela, Mr. President or former Mr. President or whatever. This is what I
45.
think. Right. This is what I think about what you just said.
Oh,
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine, but
God bless America. Vote for me. I'll see you soon.
But wait a minute. I think Mela has one more question for you. Mela, you want to ask one more question before he leaves?
In some impossible event that you may be elected, would you pardon Diddy?
Well, I partied with Diddy before, so I don't know yet. And that's all I have.
You don't
Good
think you
night
could be on
and
any
vote
of
for
them?
me.
You don't think you could be on any of them tapes?
It's just too much baby oil for me. Just too much oil.
Mr. President, why'd you call Omarosa a dog?
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, okay.
I might have said something about her eating dogs or something like that, but I don't know. Just a rumor.
Right. Well, thank you there very much,
Thank you, Mr.
folks.
President.
Right. If we had an unexpected drop in of a former president of the United States there, thank you for dropping on through, sir. But listen, folks, we're going to do a little bit more of this. I know in my stream, I said we were going to talk about Tyreek Hill, but I think I'll save that for another stream here. But before we do, I'm going to play just a little bit more of this, and we'll do a recap on this last bit of it here.
In there. Let them put it in there. And when they whip your women, the women that you create, they put their hands in handcuffs because they go on their way to fucking jail.
And now you threaten them, right? You threaten
No, your women do that,
if
honey.
they try to say,
Your
like, shut
women
up,
do
bitch.
that with
That's
all
enough
of their
now.
fake
All
and false allegations.
You ain't no nothing but a
Cut it
shit
out.
talking bitch on the internet.
Cut out. Okay, you can call anybody a bitch, child. You more of a bitch than I am. I'm pretty
Now,
sure
can
you
I
got
get my
a lot
point
more
across?
estrogen
Can I
going
get my
through
point
your
across?
veins than I do. Right? You
You're
shriveled dick
making my
bastard.
point.
You
You're
shriveled
making my
dick
point.
bastard.
There is no stopping
Right.
this type
And
of
it
woman.
ain't. And you ain't
And
man
black
enough to
women
do it.
have this problem
Right. You ain't
more
man
than
enough to do
anybody
it,
else.
nigga. So when you grow at least 2 more inches on your dick, then maybe I'll think about it.
Then again, listen, what PhD was giving him that business. This shouldn't have not gone this far. But you saw the reaction when he called her literally a bitch again. You saw his reaction, and y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the channel holder. To me, he should have been dropped. Okay, if you want to say PhD was out of line for speaking to him that way, that's your business. But he should have been dropped from that panel. Right. He should have been dropped. Absolutely. He got that from men like Angry Man. He got that from men like BGS. He got that from men like Charles Faulkner. The list could go on of the men that are in these spaces that speak like this to you women on a daily basis. If Sharon Bracey starts a panel at 9 o'clock in the morning, by 9:02, somebody done spoke bad to one of you women. JP, same thing. Fatty, same thing. The list goes on of the disrespectful amount of streams that go on. So I ask you, black women, and I'll say this with all sincerity: why do you go there? It's easy to find Angry Man's history. It's easy to find BGS's history. It's easy to find Daryl Long's history. It's easy to find these men's history that you know that's profiting off of how bad they talk about you. When are y'all going to stop going over there? When are you going to stop lending your ear to them to their enrichment? Because if they're not talking to you, they're talking about you. I frequent myself over the Bomb Cherries chat from time to time. I have never heard Bomb say, hit me up with a super chat. I've gone to some other channels. A few of the female content creators. I have yet to hear some of these women, Beachy, Mahogany Roots. I've yet to hear them mention every 5 seconds or every 10 minutes, hit that Cash App. Now, there's one woman that does that. Now, that's not for me to mention. Y'all know who she is. If I go over to Big J's channel, he don't holler, hit the Cash App. He got to stream it at the bottom. Buy me a cup of coffee.
Who's the woman that does that?
No, I won't mention that.
Oh.
I won't mention that name. You do what you like. No, because that's just not in my character. Because that would mean if I mention it, that means there would have to be a rebuttal. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm familiar with a woman that says.
Well, you tell me who you think it is, Mella.
I know a woman that says hit the like. And that's her, and people made fun of her for like hit the like, but I haven't really heard of. I heard of a woman saying make that Cash App ring. I've heard of. Let's see, but yeah, you're right. Prominently, there are more men doing that than women. Prominently.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it is. That's like I said, there's only one woman that I know that every 5 or 10 minutes or so she's saying hit the Cash App. There's only one woman that I know that, but believe me, just because I don't type in the chat room, that don't mean necessarily sometimes that I'm not there. I don't necessarily mean that. I'm not there. Sure is. Sure don't. But I will tell you, the reason why these channels are so big is because, listen, these folks, again, Mella, like you said, there's a financial gain for that. And again, no disrespect to you, Brother Sharon. I enjoy your streams. I of course, I donate to your channel. Of course. But also, by me donating to this, I feel I can point out what I see here with this. This guy right here that's next to you should not have been up on that stream at all. And if he was, the code of conduct should have been, if you come up here with them N-words and calling out my sisters out their name, you gone. No second chances, no nothing. Because we don't do that on your side of the street. So you're not going to come over here and do it either. A little bit more.
Out shutting up. But until then, it's on and popping.
Why don't you be respectful to
No, I'm not being respectful
Sharon?
Because you're disrespectful.
Well, he said
No. Well, he told you that, and you weren't respectful. He told you that, and you didn't do it. And so now what?
Okay, I interrupted.
Right, and now I'm gonna interrupt your ass the entire time. Right? No, I'm gonna interrupt you. Anything you say that I want to talk over, I'm talking over you.
So she changed the rules.
Right? No.
The Supreme
you
got
did not stop. He had to stop you
just
several
makes my
times,
point
and
for
you
me.
kept
So
talking over me. So here we are. You created the rules, sir, and now I'm finna play by them hoes.
The rules don't apply to you. They only apply to me, right?
They do not. Oh, not over here, bitch. Not over here, bitch.
Okay, so you're in charge. You're over
No,
here.
I'm not
You're
in charge of over
here.
here. But anybody
You
who
don't
watched
even cam
Sharon's
up, but
show
you're in
know that
charge.
he let people
You
talk.
got no respect for the
Sharon
black
lets
man
people
running
talk.
this
He let
channel.
them say whatever they want to say. And so that's what
Right?
we
Just
finna
say
do.
it. Just
We
say,
finna
Sharon, I
say
have no
whatever the
fucking
fuck we
respect for
want to
you
say. So you
whatsoever.
can, try to
I have
make
no
all
respect
these
for you whatsoever.
assertions or whatever,
Because
but it
I'm
don't
an
matter.
angry bitch.
Okay, and you can call it what you want, but I'm talking over your bitch ass. And so
Right.
now what?
Well, it's up to
Right.
Sharon whether he wants to
It's up to you.
facilitate a conversation
Shut your ass
or
up.
just let
All right,
me
all right. So this is
make
what we're
my
gonna
point.
do. This is what we're gonna do. Y'all, okay, both parties. We're gonna let Young Riaz talk for a second. Hopefully
There
we
we
get
go.
back to a conversation. Again, Young Riaz, what is that you want to say?
So I don't get to respond.
Okay,
Yes,
I
you will.
wanted
Yes,
to
you
say
will.
this.
You will.
Okay, son. Okay, what up? Salute to you. Salute to PhD. But she right though about Asian women.
It was all bullshit.
Okay, so we all agree that Ben, you're talking towards a stereotype and not what actually is, because we know Asian people, they have one of the most aggressive languages. Chinese women, they have some of the most aggressive language. The way how they talk to you, how they tell you to hurry up.
Aggressive language.
Yes, they don't have a smooth. They're like, I'm sorry, you're right. So they talk very, they communicate and they vocal, and the way how they speak is very aggressive. So the women do not have the soft tone, submissive, like how they try to push it out in the world. We all know that a Japanese woman, she will feed you and curse you out at the same time. Here's your goddamn meal, you stupid ass. Let me rub your back, dumbass. So we know that with Japanese men and Chinese men will tell you that they women are not as submissive, because that's why they have a problem with even getting women to marry them in the first place. They push this term out over whatever the term is of women at this.
Okay. Sharon, I let that go on for a little while to see if you were going to address what just happened. You went to something completely different. You're talking about Japanese people. What the hell does that have to do with this white man on this panel disrespecting someone that looks like us? What does that have to do with it? I've been to Japan, and it's not true. Some Japanese women are very docile. Now, because you take their language as it seems like it's forceful. No, for the most part, Japanese women are very docile women, very much so. They're very submissive women, very much so. That's in their culture. I can guarantee you, you can't find me a panel nowhere on YouTube with a bunch of Japanese people arguing. When you do, let me know. And any of y'all ever seen that? Not me.
Not
And
at
there's
all.
another thing I read that in the background there. A Black Hawk. You're absolutely right, because before I went live here tonight, I peeked in on DJ Hamp, and that is another clusterfuck stream over there. And I see all those. I see some gorgeous black women up on on those panels, and y'all let these niggas talk to y'all any kind of way they want to. The title of his stream tonight has something to do with equating y'all black women to hoes. But y'all still went up on the panel. You still super chatted him. You still encouraged him. He up there trying to mix and scratch Keith Sweat, make it last forever. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on, ladies. We can do better. It was over there talking about what's the best way to court a woman or some shit like that. Me, back in the days when I was in the clubs or wanted to ask a young lady to dance, I would just put my hand out. Excuse me, miss, can I have this dance? And I would take her by the hand and I would lead her to the dance floor. Or if I was on a date, coming out the door, I'd open the door for my date. Car door, whatever door. But if we're walking down the street, of course, she's on the inside. And maybe not on the first date, but it depends on sometimes the first date. Walking down the street, holding a hand. These niggas over there talking about that they don't do that. These niggas talking about they don't go to the club to dance. The fuck you go there for then? Let it make sense. But those are the kind of conversations that you have on some of these so-called content creator streams. Talking about going back a little bit again, talking about Jay Prince and Flora. Flora, I don't know what the hell you was thinking. Jay Prince's record speaks for himself. He's a known woman beater. He known to kick your ass. And if you for you ladies that hang over there over at Fatty, you mean to tell me y'all trust a nigga that put contacts in his eyes? Y'all trust a grown-ass man that sits on a panel full of men with no shirt on? The fuck? Where they do that at? So again, sometimes it's not the content creator. That's the whole purpose of me doing these streams. Sometimes it's not the content creator. We can find other places. Y'all women can hold a stream. You ain't got to give. You ain't got to build up the angry mans and the BGSs of the world. Y'all can build each other up. Yeah, shit. I do this as a hobby. Again, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but hey, I have a radio station. I still don't ask nobody for no super chats. I do my own thing. I heard one dude over there saying my computer broke. Y'all super chat me, and I'm mad because you ain't giving it to me. How the fuck that go? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, not time for me to get on up out of here. Got some business I need to take care of. I'm gonna check out one of my DJs that's online right now doing this thing. Promising I'd come back right around 10:30. So it's about that time for me. Any last words from anyone on the panel before we get on up out of here?
I'll just say that, there have been a lot of women that stopped participating, and it started back maybe late last year when Auntie, and that's what we call her, Auntie Yanni, had called out the guy, the Rick Ross looking dude, and said, "Hey, you treat the women like that over there? Well, what's going on?" And those women stopped engaging, and it kind of was a little trickle effect, messed up their money, and then they started getting, any kind of woman that they can get just to have some feminine energy. But it's going to take the individual to decide that they need to be respected. And just because it's a conversation, you don't have to join it.
That's exactly it. Well said, Shar. So let me ask you, Shar, on your closing comments. You've been around the YouTube streets, probably, I'm sure, longer than me, because basically this is how I was intro to the YouTube streets through connections of friends that we have. But in the time that you've been here, has you faced? Would you say things have gotten better or gotten worse?
Oh, it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. It really has. And now it's not even paying that much because Google took a large hit financially. So they cut everyone's check. So if you used to get $400 a month, now you're only going to get $2. They kind of literally cut it in half. So now they're really going to be streaming 29 hours and 59 minutes just to get whatever super chats they can so they can pay their bills.
So it's all about the Benjamins.
At this point, yeah.
As a Puffy reference.
Right.
Mella, what about you? Mella, you there?
Yeah, I think she stepped away for the evening.
Right then. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just give my closing statement is that, listen, I'm not trying to tell anyone who to support, who not to support, but it should be just like the election. It should be obvious. Now, I'm not saying don't go over and support channels like Sharon Bracy, because that channel does have some value. But when you get to the point of the value becomes at the expense of being of disrespecting us as a people, because you just don't disrespect black women when you're over there talking like that. That shows a disrespect as you as a black man. And I'm surprised that Brownsville, and actually he did call that out. And I wish it's sometime that when people say what can the harm can do, you got to have the forbearance of thought to see the harm that can be done. These folks feel emboldened to come over to channels like ours. You click them on, then you let them up on the stream, which I don't do anymore. And the first thing out their mouth is the N word. Why? Because they feel they have a right to. They feel they can come over here and do what they want to do. The same thing that they can do in the streets, the same thing they figure they're doing here. And we are allowing them. So I'm asking you, you male black content creators, stop being the Clarence Thomases, stop being the Byron Donalds, and stop being the Tim Scotts of the YouTube streets. Stop letting these white men come over here and disrespect us. Not only black women, black men too, black children. Stop letting them disrespect us. Start holding these folks accountable. Now, if you want to talk about black women and the gender war and the gender gap and all other stuff, that's on you. That's between us. That's a family matter. And that was part of the conversation over there also. That if this white man walked in the house and called your mama a bitch, what would you do about it? One of them niggas said it depends on what she said to make him go that way. The fuck? Really? What could she have possibly done to make him say that? That was his answer. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yep, that was his answer, sure. Believe it or not, that was his answer. Getting on that 2-minute, 2:20 mark over here, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Trying to keep it short and sweet there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try and go live again tomorrow. I meant to do the loose nigga roundup on Tyreek Hill, but I think I'll save that for upload. You'll probably look forward to that tomorrow. I'll make my comments on that again. I apologize about the Borg. Early, it is what it is. You live by the internet, you die by the internet. And as I always say, folks, you can check out Classic R&B Jams, the radio station itself, 24-hour jukebox. You can check out one of the live DJs. If you're a jazz aficionado like I try to be from time to time, one of my great DJs, Jeff Daniels, is on right now playing the JDCD, a little different jazz or whatever. You can check me out live on Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Now I'm going to do a three-night stretch. Sundays will be a little mix of music. Mondays will be that Love Jones kind of thing, and on Tuesdays will be the jazz thing. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, again, any more last words from anyone before we get up out of here? Mella, are you back yet? Mella, are you okay? Are you okay, Mella? You've been hit by
Stream yards. I just say good night.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, with that, let me put my little banner out here one more time so I can make sure that YouTube knows that I'm shutting down now, because they ain't like to. I'll just say goodbye for now. It's time to say goodbye to all the company. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, the grace of the day costs you absolutely nothing.
Good night, good night, good night.
Right there. Good night there, Miller. I waited for you to come back just to see if you had any last words. Good night, is it?
No, I just think this was an exceptional live stream. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And folks, again, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll have I'll finish up this stream with the Tyreek Hill again. I'll probably take that out the stream description, but we're definitely going to talk about that, because there's some things I want to point out about what was said on your channel, there, Sharon. Now, again, no disrespect to you, but another loose nigga roundup is in order. So with that, good folks, everybody have a great night, and I'll see everybody. Let me see. Good night, Black Hawk. Good night, Z. Good night, ABT. Good night to all you folks that was hanging out in the clouds. Thank you so very much, folks. We're getting a little bit closer to being monetized. So, hey, thank y'all.